Welcome to the Big Match Revisited, a chance to look back at the way football was televised 4 decades ago. This edition was shown in the middle of February 1977. It's pure football nostalgia with host and commentator Brian Moore.
And welcome again to the Big Match. Today on the programme, as you've seen, 2 matches from the First Division and 1 from the Second. Our main match is a real thriller with a great local derby atmosphere to it as Arsenal take on struggling West Ham. And from that game, Trevor Brooking of West Ham is our studio guest today. Manchester United, having a marvellous run, now meet Newcastle United, and Bolton Wanderers pressing for promotion from the Second Division and beaten 1 place from Wembley in the League Cup final. We follow Bolton Wanderers to Hull City. But first, let's get across to North London and Highbury, where Arsenal, comfortably placed, take on a West Ham side looking for that spark to start a revival. This is the Arsenal side. Rimmer in goal, Rice, Powling, Simpson and Nelson, Ross, Hudson and Brady, Armstrong, MacDonald and Stapleton, with Matthews the substitute. And what good news for the Arsenal fans that George Armstrong, for so long said to be on the move, has now had talks with manager Terry Neal, and there he is in that familiar number 11 shirt. This is the West Ham side he'll be facing. Day in goal, Bonds, Green, Locke and Lampard, Devonshire, Brooking and Otto-Lukowski, Taylor, Radford and Billy Jennings there because Brian Robson is injured. Keith Robson is a substitute. Familiar ground, of course, for one man, the former Arsenal favourite John Radford, coming back to Highbury now in a West Ham shirt. And an unfamiliar look about this one, skipper Billy Bonds, now without that famous beard. Referee Ron Challis from Tunbridge in Kent. And the crowd is just over the 38,000 mark.
So there we go, West Ham in a change strip of white with light blue shorts, attacking the goal to our right as Billy Bonds plays it back to his goalkeeper Mervyn Day. Arsenal, of course, in their familiar red shirts with white sleeves. Arsenal with only 1 home defeat of the season. That's at home to Bristol City on the opening day. West Ham with only 1 away win in the league at Manchester United. Radford. Oh, a nice touch there by Radford. And Billy Jennings couldn't quite turn it inside. But a throw to West Ham. Trevor Brooking with the West Ham throw. Jennings. Big ball Green's coming up, probably the tallest man on the field. And Frank Stapleton, very good header of the ball, coming back to mark him. There's the corner. Green with the header, just wide. Well, it was a good curling corner that from Brooking, and Green made that final sprint over the last 5 yards that lost his shadow. Just a little annoyed with himself, having made that ground and having got his head to it, that he didn't put it on target. Rim with the kick. Stapleton winning it. Otto-Lukowski. Devonshire. Rice. Oh, a nice dummy there by Hudson. And a beautiful drag back there by Brady. And a good bit of free running here by Nelson. And a long cross on the far side towards Malcolm MacDonald, and Bill Green is up there and nodded away for the Arsenal corner. Well, that was a nice dummy by Hudson and a really beautiful drag back by Brady that put Arsenal on their way there. Nice bit of skill. Armstrong then with the corner. Floated in once more. Day missed his punch again. Hudson with the shot. Presumably to Brady, although the muddle was a great one and a disastrous one so far as West Ham's concerned, as that ball came floating in. Brady it was who got the touch that mattered, and it's in the back of the net for 1-0 to Arsenal. So 14 minutes gone. Brady puts Arsenal ahead. Only his 4th goal of the season, and really quite a setback early on here for West Ham, whose troubles, goodness knows, are big enough already. chasing, but he should get there before Stapleton. Corner given. The handling there may be just a little suspect by Mervyn Day. Here's another curling corner. MacDonald with a header. And that time it was Locke who chested it off the line. Arsenal are getting in important headers in that West Ham penalty area, and that was another of them as Armstrong floated in that corner. MacDonald was up so well, and Locke came to the rescue. Free kick to Arsenal. Hudson and Brady over it. Hudson playing it in towards MacDonald, but was blocked on the way. Here's Nelson. Right foot shot. Good Lord, that was no more than 6 inches wide. Sure that Mervyn Day felt that was going wider than that. Nelson taking it on his right foot. And too close for comfort for West Ham. Pounding's header. Lampard's kick. And Taylor very slow getting back into an onside position there. Caught 3 or 4 yards offside. Stapleton. Brady now. Simpson. Here's Locke. Brooking just winning that for West Ham, but it's Brady now for Arsenal. Back for Rice. Armstrong. Hudson. Brady. Well, the ball going straight to Alan Taylor. He's found Radford. In turn, looking for Billy Jennings. MacDonald right back there. Brooking playing it on. A good ball played there for Alan Taylor. This will be the equaliser, and it is by Alan Taylor. 1-1. 23 minutes gone. There certainly was a suspicion of offside as Taylor took up the running. In fact, the Arsenal players looked at the linesman, but Taylor got the better of Rimmer. And a simple chance of putting it in the back of the net. Arsenal 1, West Ham 1. And the man who scored it, Alan Taylor. And the man who made it, Trevor Brooking. Well, that'll raise West Ham's spirits an awful lot. Their first real dangerous attack. And they've got back on level terms now, but here's Rice. MacDonald. Up to Lukowski. There was a bit of muddle there until Bill Green got it away. Simpson planting it in again. MacDonald letting it run. That was a handball by Stapleton. MacDonald's dummy fooling him as much as it did everybody else. Brooking's ball now to Billy Jennings. Played forward for Devonshire. Nelson's with him. Oh, he's turned Nelson well. And he's got a good shot in too, Devonshire. A young lad from Slough, only 20 years old, from the Isthmian League. Turned Nelson well there and got a reasonable shot in. Brady. Brooking beaten there by the challenge of Simpson. Here's MacDonald. Lovely ball there by MacDonald to Armstrong. Rice going up outside him. What a game with a lot of movement to it now. Stapleton's gone towards the near post. MacDonald the far post. Well, that was a good piece of overlapping by Pat Rice. And as Stapleton ran towards the near post, West Ham's eyes may have strayed towards him, and it was a deeper one that MacDonald almost made count. Radford beaten in the air. Hasn't had much luck in the air against Peter Simpson so far this afternoon. Brooking, who is very involved indeed for West Ham. Here's Radford. Alan Taylor, scorer of the equaliser. And now Stapleton. Hudson. Nelson. Brady. Devonshire coming away. Plenty of West Ham players up. Radford wanting away on the left. Brooking's up with him as well. Radford now moving across to the right. Alan Taylor coming out quickly. It's a question of timing the pass. Oh, and indeed he timed it well, and a great shot there by Alan Taylor, hitting the legs of Jimmy Rimmer. But Devonshire showing a very cool head there indeed, and a great burst of speed by Taylor up on the left. And the timing of the pass was perfection. Good ground shot off the goalkeeper's legs. Billy Jennings. Radford with him. In fact, it's Radford's knock on and a free kick given for a push by Sammy Nelson on Radford. Another free kick to West Ham. Brooking and Bonds behind it. I think it'll be Brooking, indeed it is. One of those curling, tantalising crosses. Radford up well, and Jennings up and a goal! West Ham in the lead. Brooking's long free kick was the one that set it all up. Just look at that free kick curling in there. No chance for the goalkeeper to come and get that. Radford up beautifully. Billy Jennings turning it in just inside the post. Arsenal 1, West Ham 2. And Billy Jennings, who got up and made that goal after Radford had jumped so beautifully himself from Brooking's free kick. Well, they've shown a lot of character in the last 10 minutes, West Ham, coming from that goal down to go 2-1 into the lead. On a ground where traditionally they don't do all that well. Referee having a look at his watch. First half almost over now. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle. A good example of West Ham's character coming back after Liam Brady had put Arsenal ahead. A really sloppy goal, that, from West Ham's point of view. But they got back on the mark with Alan Taylor. Just a suspicion of offside about that. And then their character really showing as they went into the lead with that header by Billy Jennings after some tremendous work by Brooking and by John Radford. So far so good for West Ham as they try to climb away from the basement. And I think probably a very good second half to come here at Highbury. The half-time score, though, is Arsenal 1, West Ham 2. We'll be right back with that second half. Welcome back to Highbury then, with West Ham leading 2-1. And really a very critical 45 minutes facing the Hammers now. Certainly if they can hang on to 2 points here, they might be on their way. And Billy Bonds and Malcolm MacDonald getting really stuck in there. Linesman on the field. Well, in the first 10 seconds of this second half, an incident there involving MacDonald and Billy Bonds. And the referee calling the pair of them together. And MacDonald still complaining to Billy Bonds presumably about a tackle. I didn't see that one myself. Bill Green can smile. But MacDonald looks serious. The referee has calmed him down. Well, that was a fairly explosive start to the second half. And the upshot of it is, in fact, a free kick to West Ham. Well, Bonds with it. Off the top of Powling's head. Hit by Billy Jennings. No power, no direction, goal kick. And as I was saying before Mr. Bonds and Mr. MacDonald rudely interrupted, it's if West Ham can hold on to these two this 2-1 lead. These 2 points after their victory against Stoke last week. They must begin to believe that they can in fact climb out of that First Division basement. So Lampard will eventually retrieve that ball from that little moat. With 13 minutes on of this second half. West Ham throw, or rather an Arsenal throw. So a special little pit there for the cameramen, which pictures you'll see on the breakfast table, or have seen this morning. Nelson. MacDonald right in there, whistle gone, free kick, home count. Bond's getting in there. Brooking right back. Stapleton. It's a good cross there to MacDonald. Well, how on earth did they keep that one out? What a lovely cross by Frank Stapleton. A real beauty of a cross. MacDonald was up there, Locke was in there, Day was up there, and somehow they kept it out. Corner then for Arsenal. Armstrong with it. Brady's header knocked off the line by Locke. That's twice in this game he's done it. And the ball not away yet. We'll have a look at the end of that in just a moment. Let's see what Powling can do with this one. And Locke gets it away again. Armstrong's corner. Brady getting in with the header. And Locke off the line. Stapleton's header to Armstrong. Free kick given. Foul on Armstrong. Brady. And Arsenal getting on with it now, feeling that the old pendulum's beginning to swing their way a little bit with all this pressure. Brady now. And it's there by Stapleton. 2-2. The virtue of a quickly taken free kick. Maybe catching West Ham just that little bit off guard. Brady involved again after Armstrong's free kick. And the ball coming through to Frank Stapleton. Past Mervyn Day. Sure as an arrow. Arsenal 2, West Ham 2. So now it really is a case of hanging on for West Ham. Here's Rice. Here's Armstrong. And Otto Lukowski just getting the touch. But it seems to be an unfair touch on Ross, which gives Arsenal this free kick. Armstrong with it, curling in, Locke away. An Arsenal throw. Armstrong, Rice, Brady, Hudson, MacDonald, nice touch there, stopped by Locke. It's all hands to the pump now for West Ham. Nelson, Stapleton, goal kick. Jennings right in there. Simpson, plenty of Arsenal defenders back, 4 of them there in that little situation. Stapleton, Brady, very nifty footwork again by Liam Brady. Armstrong, Ross, that surely looked to be obstruction, but here's Rice. And now Locke. It'll come for Armstrong. Beautifully skillful play there by Hudson. Poked away by Locke, only to Brady. Nelson going up fast on the far side. Certainly both Arsenal fullbacks, the 2 and the 3, getting into some strong attacking positions. And here's Rice in one now. Deep cross towards Malcolm McDonald. There's the header. Oh, and a great save by Mervyn Day. Well, it was Rice, one of these defenders coming forward. An inch perfect centre. McDonald caught it well. I think Mervyn Day maybe thought of catching it, but he managed to push it round for the corner. Armstrong with that corner now for Arsenal. Brooking's header not getting very far. Devonshire's header not getting very far. Otulakowski then. Oh, Powling! Oh, and a corner. Great shot by Powling. A wicked deflection that might have fooled Mervyn Day. In the end, it went wide for another corner. So West Ham again with all hands to the pump. Armstrong with the corner. Brooking's header. And Alan Taylor bringing West Ham a little bit of relief. Here's Powling. Probably play it safe back to Rimmer, or will he play it? Yes. And now to Nelson. Hudson. Nice ball by Hudson for Stapleton. Good shot, wide again. It was a bad shot. Jennings and Rice, but I got the feeling that's not where most of the battle's going to be now. I think it's going to be in the West Ham defence against Arsenal coming forward. And there is Jennings. Throw to Arsenal. Some of the likes of Bonds and Locke, Green, Lampard and Brooking. They're the people, I think, who are going to be able to steady the boat and keep West Ham afloat now. Free kick to Arsenal. Stapleton being told to go to the right by Rice, and that's just where he's put the ball onto the head of Stapleton. Locke getting it away again, not very far. Brooking with a chance to run it unless Armstrong can get there, which he does, and finds Rice. Stapleton, a beautiful ball there for Ross. Nice tackle though by Otulakowski. Too high for Brooking. Here come Arsenal again with Hudson. There's the flick for Brady. Back again for Hudson, who's yet to score for Arsenal. Oh, and what a save by Day! Twice. Well, Hudson really let that go. He's not yet scored for Arsenal, and he came so close to it then, but for the miracles of Mervyn Day. Knocked it into the air and somehow grabbed it again. Taylor. Nice turn. The pass to Jennings. The touch for Brooking. Otulakowski has come up quickly on this side. Here he is. Lampard's gone up as well to join him. That's the ball aimed for Frank Lampard. Armstrong shrugged off that ball by Lampard. Good cross! Oh, and a brilliant goal! A brilliant West Ham goal by Alan Taylor. 3-2 into the lead. They worked that superbly across the face of that, the Arsenal penalty area. Brooking was very much involved with it. And finally it was turned in sharply from the left, and Alan Taylor was in there like a rocket. Arsenal 2, West Ham 3. A quarter of an hour to go. His second goal of the game. And before today, his total was only 4. But Brooking again had a part in that, so did Otulakowski. And now Arsenal are behind again. Day's catch after a brilliant save that kept West Ham afloat a couple of minutes before it. say for headed goals, that one of Alan Taylor's a moment ago, that really takes a bit of beating. Well, that was confidence for you. An overhead kick there by Simpson, not even looking, knowing that Rimmer would be properly placed, which he was. Otulakowski. Oh, what a ball! And a beautifully timed run by Taylor. Is this the next one for West Ham? There's a little chip. Oh, and he's missed it. Well, that really was a brilliant ball by Otulakowski. Alan Taylor onto it. And it was just wide of the goal and out of the reach of Billy Jennings. Lampard. West Ham really got to fight out these last few minutes to preserve this 3-2 lead. Alan Taylor right back there, but the whistle had already gone for a foul and a free kick to Arsenal. Arsenal will throw everything at West Ham now in a bid to get this equaliser. Powling's gone right in there, and Otulakowski gets it away for West Ham when it might have fallen to any one of half a dozen Arsenal players who were lurking close by. MacDonald now with a throw. Referee looking at the watch, and a good long throw it is. Locks header away, straight back to MacDonald again. Another throw. A minute and a half to go, 90 seconds. MacDonald again, planting it in, this time towards Sammy Nelson. And Billy Bonds whacking that one away for West Ham, and here's Jennings. Jennings and Rice, the only two are up. And in fact, Jennings could have given West Ham a little more breathing space there instead. And the linesman on the far side flagging for an offside, and a good decision there by the linesman, although MacDonald had run back into an onside position. He was offside when that ball was played. So a free kick to West Ham. 1 minute to go. And they're going to play it back carefully, cautiously. Long kick of day again. Hudson. Simpson being challenged. Free kick, whistle. Lampard there first. But no, the referee wasn't happy with that free kick, and Simpson and Radford, I think, maybe having a few quiet words. It's got to be taken from the right place. Rice with the kick. As we go into injury time now, MacDonald turning it down. MacDonald again. Going all the way, and Day falling at his feet, and that's a crucial save at a crucial moment. MacDonald really playing a beautiful 1-2 there, and looked for a moment as though he was right the way through until Day flung himself at his feet. Referee again, looking at his watch. Both linesmen have signalled to him at this moment that the full 90 minutes is up, and indeed we've had nearly a minute of injury time. Radford's header. Radford again. And that's a goal kick. Again, a look at that Ron Chalice watch. Played a full minute of injury time. And West Ham have done it. 2 precious points, and Alan Taylor with 2 goals. John Radford, Alan Taylor with 2 precious goals. And no one, I should think, Billy Jennings, of course, who got the other one. There are the West Ham goal scorers who've given them a bit of hope. With Brady and Stapleton having scored for Arsenal, and the number 8 there in the light shirt, John Radford, coming back to his old stamping ground here at Highbury and helping West Ham, his new club, to such an important victory. Mervyn Day with 1 or 2 really tremendous saves, one in particular from Alan Hudson just before West Ham got their winner. And really an enthralling game that swung so many different ways here at Highbury today, with a final scoreline: Arsenal 2, West Ham 3.
Well, even though Arsenal had more of the game, that was the second successive win for West Ham. And here in our studio with me is West Ham's England midfield man, Trevor Brooking. And the happiest weekend I think you've had for a long time.
Yes, it's nice to go out and face a few people when you've got 2 points. And with 4 points in the last fortnight, I think the lads are looking forward now to the last 2 or 3 months of the season.
Yes. In fact, a big change has come over the club. I know when Mervyn Day was in here a bit earlier this season, when things were going badly, he said you almost went out feeling you weren't going to win.
Yeah, well, results become a habit, really. When you're winning, you go out there believing that whatever happens, you're going to get a result. And it works in reverse when you're in a bad run. For instance, November, December time. We went out there possibly when we conceded a goal, and you could see the confidence drain from the side. But yesterday, when we equalised, we became a different side again, and the flying football came back.
There was an element of offside, it seemed, about that equaliser after a very sloppy old first 15 minutes or so when you conceded a goal. Let's have a look at it now, Trevor.
Yes.
It doesn't really show up all that well because your pass coming up in a moment.
There, I think you've got to give credit to Alan Taylor, actually. He's got tremendous acceleration. Over 10 yards, he'll beat anyone. And there, he's just got away from the defence, which was fairly square at that stage. And there, just calmly side puts it in.
Yes.
And that really was a turning point, actually.
He had a good game, didn't he, Alan?
Alan, he's had a bad ankle injury, was out for a couple of months before Christmas, but the last 4 matches he's looked very sharp, and the goals yesterday are doing him a lot of good.
If I can talk about you for a moment, it seemed to me that you were more tigerish than I'd seen you for a long time in midfield yesterday. You were really, not exactly getting stuck in, but you were terribly involved. Was that...
Well, I think possibly that was a criticism of my play the last 18 months ago, 2 years.
Everybody used to say the elegant Trevor Brooking.
That's right. And I think I used to be tackled but never tackled back.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I've tried to work on in training the last season or two. And touch wood, it's rubbing off a little bit.
Yes. I mean, playing in a struggling West Ham side and indeed in a struggling England side, has it been a very happy season for you? I mean, have you enjoyed playing?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, actually. Strangely enough, I probably feel I've played more consistently this season than ever before. Certainly, when the results start coming like they have the last couple of weeks, it makes a big difference to everyone within the club. Touch wood, the spirit of the lads has been tremendous, but there's nothing better than winning games.
No.
And training this week, I'm sure you'll see a difference.
Yes. Let's talk about the 2 youngsters that you share the midfield with now. One is Alan Devonshire, 20-year-old, came from Slough, didn't he?
Done exceptionally well. Came into the side just before Christmas. Got a lot of natural ability. Goes past people very easily. Really, I think he's had about 12 to 15 games, and he's not had a bad game. Here you can see got a lot of speed. Shields the ball well there from Sammy Nelson. Turns inside him, gets a couple of yards and gets in his shot.
And that's what midfield players have got to do, isn't it? Get up and get the shots in.
But he gets back well. He doesn't sit back. There he is. He wins a knock-on. He's got a lot of speed, gets away from people quickly. He's got acres of space there.
And he's looking up all the time, Trevor, isn't he?
That's right,
around.
yeah. He just releases this ball just at the right time. And Alan comes in there, and Jimmy Rimmer does well, actually. He could have just sneaked under his body, actually.
And
but he's done very well.
Yeah. And the other one, of course, is the commentator's nightmare, Anton Otolakowski.
Yes, I think I'll stick to Anton. He's done very well. He's probably the smallest player in our side, but he's very tigerish, gets into the tackle.
From Barnsley.
And he sees things early. In this particular instance here, he wins the ball, drifts past that player very easily. And here again, sees Alan Taylor off on a run, and he split the defence completely there.
What was Alan trying to do here, do you think? Was he trying to chip the keeper, or did he notice Billy Jennings?
He thought about squaring the ball, and then a bit unlucky, didn't drift over by much. If it had gone in, everyone would have said well done. But as it went over, then they said possibly he could have squared it across. Yeah. He probably saw the match ball in his sights and went for a hat-trick.
I think a lot of people felt that you were hanging on at 2-2. When they pulled you back to 2-2, it was a bit of a struggle. But the winner was really something exceptional, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and again, Alan Taylor.
Yeah, we needed that really at that stage. For 20 minutes, Arsenal had put us on the rack.
And he started it, Alan Taylor, right on that touchline, which I hadn't realised at the time.
Slips the ball inside there. Bill Jennings just lays the ball back to me. Thought about having a shot from there, but come up here. Frank makes the extra man. And little Anton sees the ball very early. Frank just gives a little friendly shoulder charge to George and whips in a great cross, and there's Alan, found space just at the right spot.
And he covered a fair bit of ground to get there.
Again, it's acceleration really. He probably just got a yard from the far post and he's there.
So the signs are there for you, obviously, and the next couple of weeks are going to be crucial, aren't they?
Yes, we've got Bristol City next week, which we've got to win.
That's at Upton Park?
Really, yes, at home. They've got 2 games in hand, so though they're only 1 point above us, they're a little bit better off than it looks. So we need to beat them. And then we go up to the North East to face Sunderland. And then we've got Man City at home. But at least after the last couple of weeks, we see a little bit of daylight.
Yeah, and just as losing can become a habit, so can winning also, Trevor, I suppose.
I hope we prove the point anyway.
Thank you very much for coming in today and talking to us.
Brian.
Well done yesterday. Let's have some more action now. For that, we go into the second division. And what an important match it was yesterday for Bolton Wanderers. They really needed lifting after losing a League Cup semi-final to Everton in midweek. And they needed points badly to maintain their challenge at the top of the second division, remembering how narrowly they'd failed to get promotion last season. Well, yesterday, Bolton were visitors to Hull City. A match covered by Yorkshire Television, the commentators Martin Tyler, Bolton in white.
Sit back from Nisbet. Sunley. Bremner with Watmore in front of him, trying to play it in for Nisbet, who come forward. Watmore. Now Peter Reid in some space. Only Gary Jones is up with him. Reid going on, finding Nicholson. Now Gary Jones. Reid going to the near post, and there's Peter Reid. A well-worked goal. 8 minutes gone. It was Reid who set it all up, breaking from the middle of the field, bringing in Nicholson, then Gary Jones, and Reid had gone on, got in at the near post, a crisp header, down past Jeff Whelans, 1-0 to Bolton. Nisbet to Croft, Bremner in space, Waldron coming across to take it away from him. Greaves. Nicholson again galloping up in support, and so is Waldron. Comes to Nicholson. Gary Jones at the near post, and Watmore to the far post, and in goes Watmore. And either of them could have got it. But it's number 19 for Neil Watmore. And Bolton had men to spare as they built up down this right-hand side. Nicholson, who's been so effective, driving in the cross. Gary Jones threw himself at it, couldn't quite get there, but it came to Watmore, who made no mistake. In for Daniel. Peter Daniel trying to use some speed and pulling it back and over from Hickton. But what a brilliant run from Daniel. It really needed some enterprise to get through this Bolton defence, and Peter Daniel provided it. They've been winning everything in the air, but on the ground, Daniel using his speed, and John Hickton couldn't quite grow enough to turn in the cross. Bremner. De Vries. Hickton. Lyle in some space. Now a chance for George Lyle. He's hurt himself. It looks a serious one too. The goal counts for George Lyle. Tragic moment for George Lyle, triumph for him, turning into tragedy. The very instant the scoring shot went on its way, what looks like a very serious injury. Tremendous applause for him. McIntosh back for Lord, pumped forward, Haig again for Nisbet. Now a chance for Nisbet, going past Reid. In it goes, and it's turned away by Nicholson. De Vries, still blocked. Back in from McIntosh. Appeals for handball. And he's given it. Protest from Bolton. But a penalty it is. As De Vries, as it broke away from McIntosh, Nicholson came across and looked as though it might have been handball for sure. So a dramatic penalty with under 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Peter Daniel against Jim McDonough to make it 2-2, and he's done it!
And it finished 2-2, but sad to report, George Lyle of Hull City broke a leg. Now it's time for your letters, and first we've got to reflect the piles of mail I've been getting in the past week referring back to England's defeat against Holland at Wembley. Almost all of you who'd written in included also your idea of the ideal England team. All of them different, it seemed, but I think illustrating what an unenviable job Don Reeves got at the best of times. Many of you suggested choosing the England team from one club, or maybe just two, like Liverpool and Ipswich. Well, we took that a step further, put the players of both those clubs at the disposal of a First Division manager who wanted to remain nameless because he said, after all, that's Don's job and not for me to interfere. But this is the team he has drawn up from Ipswich and Liverpool players that he would choose for England. Ray Clements of Liverpool in goal, then a back four of Neil and Thompson of Liverpool, Beattie and Mills of Ipswich, a midfield trio all from Liverpool, Keegan, Callaghan and Hughes, and up front three from Ipswich, Woods, Mariner and Wymark. And I wonder what you think of that side representing England. Manchester United fans have been writing to me in their hundreds when I said last week that I wish they would behave a little better. Most claim that they are better behaved this season, that last weekend they had been severely provoked, and I'm delighted to pass on news of that improvement. Certainly their team is in magnificent form, and our last match today takes us to Manchester for Manchester United's match against Newcastle United. An incredible run by United over the past weeks, 7 successive wins that have taken them from the relegation area to just behind the leaders, and now they face Newcastle. Granada's cameras were at Old Trafford, commentators Gerald Sinstadt, Manchester United in the plain dark shirts.
Gordon Hill beaten in the air by Natras, but it'll be United's throw-in. Pearson. Good turn by Pearson. Can he get the angle for the shot? Yes, he can! Jimmy Greenough raises his hands, but the credit for that is surely Pearson's. He did very well to turn his man, came back across the area to make the angle for the shot, and it may be that there was just a touch from Jimmy Greenough. Natras now taking up position in the middle of the 6-yard area. Brian Greenough organising. Burns to take the corner. Hooked away from the near post by Coppell, straight to Craig. And Craig going through to beat the offside trap. And a good cross. And is it in? No, it's snaffled by Stepney. No, it's not. Cassidy was in there. But Manchester United have smuggled it away. Well, that was a let-off for Manchester United. Good in-swinging corner, and a beautiful goal by Nolte. That was a lovely corner from Tommy Craig, dropping perfectly onto Nolte's head, and the glancing nod was enough to beat Stepney. Martin Buckham. Cross to Houston. And now Manchester United moving forward down the left. Inside to Pearson. Hill. Lovely build-up this by Manchester United. McCaffrey goes across to block the attempted centre by Houston. McElroy waiting to take the throw-in. Pearson setting it up for McElroy. Nicely floated cross, and the header by Hill, and now by Coppell, and in by Jimmy Greenough. Indignation on Mahoney's face. Mahoney furious as Manchester United celebrate. But from the time that was set up by Pearson, a goal always seemed likely. The little back heel for McElroy, beautifully flighted cross, the nod in, Coppell nods down, and Jimmy Greenough gets Manchester United second. Craig, and now Kennedy. He's beaten everybody, Mitchell chasing him. Chip back in, headed away by Houston. Macari is there. Brian Greenough. Macari now chasing after Mitchell. McElroy got a foot to it, and suddenly there are plenty of red shirts. Brian Greenough trying to get his way out of trouble, ran into the referee, and Houston. What a mess there, and eventually the shot from Cassidy goes wide. But there could so easily have been a goal there when the ball hit the referee and came loose to Gowling. Gowling's shot hit Stepney. There was another shot that was blocked, and eventually Manchester United got it away. But that could have been a big embarrassment for the referee. Nolte. And Greenough, in steps Mitchell. Gowley. Cross to Barraclough. Back inside for Burns, who hits the bar. Best move of the match from Newcastle. Right across the field. Started with Mitchell. Turned on a cross. Back inside. And Mickey Burns hit it with a whiplash of a shot that came twanging back off the bar. Bad luck for Burns. Koppel. Oh, very tight. The outcome a corner for Manchester United. Newcastle getting their marking sorted out. A header from Houston and Jimmy Greenough, and that's his hat-trick. Jimmy Greenough and the Stratford end celebrate together. The player that Tommy Docherty said was worth breaking his resolution about not paying big fees for, really repaying some of his £100,000 fee there.
So a 3-1 win for Manchester United, which now takes them to 4th place in the First Division. The Championship, well, who knows? At least Manchester United march on, and it's time for us to go. But don't forget, next weekend is a special FA Cup tie weekend, when we shall bring you the 5th round of the FA Cup, a preview in On the Ball in World of Sport, and 3 of the Cup ties, of course, in a special Cup edition of the big match next Sunday afternoon. Certainly hope you've enjoyed the show today, and I have little doubt at all that West Ham supporters have. And what better to leave them than with the 3 goals yesterday, each one with a touch of Trevor Brooking about them, our guest today, that brought West Ham 2 precious points at Highbury yesterday against Arsenal.
Donald right back there, Brooking playing it on, a good ball played there for Alan Taylor. This will be the equaliser, and it is by Alan Taylor. I think it'll be Brooking, indeed it is. One of those curling, tantalising crosses. Radford up well, and Jennings out for the goal. It's the touch for Brooking. Tulakowski has come up quickly on this side. Here he is. Lampard's gone up as well to join him. That's the ball aimed for Frank Lampard. Armstrong shrugged off that ball by Lampard. Good cross! Oh, and a brilliant goal!